Welcome to Body Moves for Life. This is John Archer, and today I want to talk to you about working our ankles. You know, our ankles are something very important to kind of take care of. You don't really notice. You go jogging, and the next thing you know, you're kind of tight in the ankles, maybe swollen in the ankles. And then not only that, the ankles are connected up to the calf muscle, and this whole area of the lower leg from the calf all the way down to the ankles can just really be tight and sore. You may even on the lower part of the leg actually have something called shin splints if you do a lot of running immediate after not having run for a long time. You might find that all of a sudden your shins are really bothering you. Well, this part of your leg, the lower part of your leg, where the ankle connects with the calf and the shins, all of this really needs to be stretched and worked out every day. So let's just take a look at some of those options for movement that most people may not think about doing. Let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do just to work the ankles, not so much different between working the back part of the ankle and the calf, but there is a slight difference. But let's just look at what this may look like. So basically what I'm going to do on hands, we can start maybe on our hands and knees, but basically we're going to get up on our toes here on the ball of our foot. And notice that my knees are bent. I can straighten the knees, and if I just bend them a little bit, this is going to work my calves, okay? But if I really bend the knees a lot, that's going to work the ankles and actually the bottom of the foot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some different angles with my ankles to get the outside of the back of the ankle, the inside of the back of the ankle, and basically really work this Achilles tendon right here in the middle of the ankle. So we're going to try to get the sides and right in the middle just by the way we move our feet. So I'm going to just kind of look at how I can go to one side like this, and then I can go to the other side like this. And still, as you see, my knees are very much bent. If I go to this position, you can see how bent my knees are. I'm going to go on one side and the other, okay, like this. And then I'm also going to turn my toes in and turn my toes out. And this is really going to get all parts of the back of my ankle. And I'm just kind of kneading the floor like making biscuits or bread with flour in a bowl. So I'm just kneading, kind of just really walking on my toes, bending my knees. You can see like this, different angles. And this is really good. Now, that's the back of the ankle. What about the front of the ankle? The front of the ankle is very much going to be stretched by sitting on it, on our heels. For some people, that's really going to be tight, okay? And so if that's all you can do, put your hands down and kind of lift up. And just because the point is we haven't really gotten to the ankle yet because it's going to be tight in the knees and the quadriceps here. So what I want you to do is, if you can't really sit back, still lean forward, but I want you to push up and just kind of put your weight on your toes. Now, if you can sit back, the ultimate goal is to lift your knees up in front and stretch the front of your ankles like this. But a lot of people can't do that or aren't comfortable. So just find what you can do. If it's really tight on your knees and quads, just take the pressure off by lifting up. But still, see if you can put the weight on the toes here and stretch the front of your ankles. Now, we still have the front sides, both the outside and the inside. And so the inside is kind of a weird stretch. If we put our hands down here and just put our leg out with the knee on the ground, you can kind of work the inside like this, pointing your toe and just kind of rolling and kind of pulling, leaving your toe there and pulling your body this way, letting the floor with traction keep your toe there, your foot there, and kind of pulling against it as you turn and roll. That will kind of work the inside of this ankle here, like this. If you've never done this before, I would encourage you to experiment with it because your ankle really needs to be stretched. Now, the outside of the ankle, I find pretty easy to do just by standing here, rolling it over, and just seeing what you can comfortably do. Now, mine roll pretty good because I do it pretty regularly. This ankle here was really, really sprained bad when I was younger, playing softball or baseball. And so as I've gotten older, I've really had to stretch it, and I've been doing it for several years, and it's really loosened up. This one as well, so I can roll it over. And then sometimes when I'm in the grocery store, I'll just stand in the line, and I'll have my tennis shoes on, and I'll roll both of them over like this. It's a really nice stretch. It actually gets the ankle, and in the mornings when my legs are tight, I can feel it all the way down the side of my leg. It's interesting in the afternoon, in the day, that part is much looser just by having walked on my feet and legs throughout the day. So I'm getting the outside of my ankle now. A moment ago, I did the inside of my ankle by pointing my toe and just rolling this way. And then we did the top of the ankles. If you can sit down, you can lift up like this. And if you can't, if it's too much pressure on the knees and quads, lift up like this, and then still let some weight be on your toes. And then we did the back of our ankles simply by keeping our knees bent and going to the side and pigeon-toed and toes out, really working all parts of the ankle. Now, my ankles are much warmer just by that 5 minutes of working every single part of the ankle. You can also simply, you might like this one, sitting in bed or something, just start to do circles here with the ankles like this. And you can go in the other direction. You can do pointing your toes back and forth. And then you can also toe out like this. This is actually going to work the ankles and the calves and the shins. And just experiment with options, work on coordination, same direction, the other way, opposite direction, like this. This right here is a really good exercise to really maybe warm up your ankles first before stretching them. Maybe I should have done that first. I find that the ankles are something people forget about. I really especially like to just do this one where I turn my ankles over. And this one like this, I think, really is good to do daily, even though I forget to do that one some. And we can talk a little bit more about that one on another video about how it's really good to stretch the bottom of our feet as well. Whatever the case, working our ankles is very important. I want to encourage you to incorporate that into your body movement. Think about it. Experiment a little bit with the movements we did. See what your body is comfortable doing and not. Body Moves for Life, John Archer, today talking about ankles. Please leave your comments in the section below. Thank you for your likes. I so much appreciate you joining the channel with subscriptions. And hit that bell if you would, and you'll get more videos about 6 days a week to continue working, coming up with creative body movement for the rest of our lives in order to stay healthy and flexible and comfortable in our joints and muscles. Thanks for joining. See you next time. John Archer, Body Moves for Life.